Hey everyone, I'm Terriell, and today we are going to be working on a routine to help improve your flexibility using Pilates. There may be many reasons why you want to improve your flexibility. The most common reason I run into with my clients is that they feel a sensation of tightness in certain muscle groups, therefore they feel the need to stretch those muscles. Oftentimes, the muscles that feel tightest in our bodies are the muscles that are the weakest and need the most strengthening. So when we work on stretching the body and working on improving our flexibility and mobility within our joints, we always want to first engage the muscle before we stretch it. And that's how you get that signature Pilates stretch and strength at the same time. I also want to touch really quickly on what flexibility means. I think for a lot of people, when you think of being more flexible, it means maybe you can bend over and touch your toes, or for those who are more athletic, maybe you want to sit in the splits, or if you do yoga, you want to be able to get into more advanced poses that require a more open body, a more flexible body. For me, the best flexibility means functionality. If you are so tight in areas of your body that it impedes on doing certain everyday tasks, such as bending over to pick something off of the floor, or your back is so tight that you can't reach over and tie your own shoelaces, anything like that, or maybe even just reaching behind your back to grab something, if that feels really difficult in your everyday life, that's a really good sign that you want to really work on the mobility in that certain joint. So today we're going to touch on flexibility for functionality, as well as getting a nice stretch that feels good in the muscles. Right, so with all that said, let's get moving. Let's bring it down onto the mat. All right, let's start with 100 for our warm-up. Before we stretch anything in the body, you want to make sure that you're warm, that your muscles are warm, your body temperature is lifted a little bit, and you're kind of sweaty. So let's start by lying down flat on your back, knees into chest, head, neck, and shoulders lift, eyes on the belly, low belly pulls in tightly, arms and legs reach out. And now begin to pump those arms vigorously up and down, breathing in and breathing out. 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5. In with the air, out with the air. Good. In for 5, out for 5. Keep this going. Inhale and exhale. 3, 4, 5. In with the air. Now really squeeze your legs tight, getting your glutes and your hamstrings to fire. Not just those abs working, we want the whole body to get warm. Bigger pumps, get that air flowing, get the circulation going through the body. 2 more breaths. And exhale. 1 more breath in here. Last breath out. Good, steady those arms in your position. And then bend your knees to lower your head, neck, and shoulders down. Good. Now go ahead and rock from side to side. I want you to pull your knees so tightly into the chest that you feel your tailbone come slightly off, working that round spine position, getting a little bit of a stretch there in the low back after that ab work. So good. Then I want you to place your feet down onto the mat. And now, just as I said earlier, we're going to work on activation and then stretch to get the most out of this routine. So I want you to place your palms flat down to the mat, inner thighs squeeze, and then we'll squeeze your butt, curl your tailbone under, lift your hips to the sky, and hold there. Now reach your knees forward. Make sure you're scooping the abs in. I want you to feel your butt and your hamstrings working because we're going to stretch them out. Now reach your right leg to the ceiling, hold it, 5, push up higher through that left leg, 4, 3, 2, 1, replace the foot down. And then we take that left leg up to the sky, hold it, 5, 4, now see if you can lift the leg higher, lift your hips higher, 2, 1, and replace that foot. Now we keep these hips up, and I want you to think of driving your hips to the ceiling. We want to work on opening the hip flexors and the quads. So even though it feels a little torturous in the backs of the thighs, you may be getting a stretch in the front. So we always want to work that opposition in the body, working in that end range, in that hip extension. So we keep holding. We keep holding, squeeze your inner thighs. Ooh. hold, and then melt it all the way down to the mat. Pull knees in, rock and roll up to sit. Now your warm hamstrings are ready to be stretched. So I want you to pull your right knee into the chest, give it a hug, hands behind the thigh. From there we extend the leg. And you're in a tall spine here with your shoulders relaxed. And you bend the leg in and pull that thigh in closer to your body. Extend from the thigh, trying to reach that end range of motion and keep it active. So if you start shaking, that means you're doing it right. And when we work in active motion, rather than just sitting into a stretch or forcing a stretch, you're really ensuring the stability in your joint as you work that end range of motion. And the end range is where you start to feel a stretch. We want to also strengthen that end range to prevent injury in our joint. So let's reach that leg out straight, hold it, and walk your hands up to your ankle. And now round through the spine, nose to the knee, elbows bend to the side. And now we want to keep it dynamic a little bit. So I want you to tip back a little bit, foot towards the ceiling. And then we'll deepen the stretch, bring it forward and lift through the spine. Pull that leg in towards you, round the back. Tip back a little bit. Come forward again onto those sit bones and lift through the spine. Round the spine, nose to the knee, tip it back. This should feel like a really deep stretch on the back of your thigh. Come all the way up. And we lift and we hold for 3. Shaking is good. That means you're doing it right. We hold it 2. We stretch it deeper. 1 as we lift the spine tall. And then bend it in to send it long, left side. Pull the knee into the chest. Wow, that leg feels so long now. Let's extend the leg. Elbows are bending, the shoulders are down, the chest is open, the spine is tall. Bend the leg in. Extend it out. Bend it in. 2 more times, extend. And bend. 1 more time here, reach it away. And bend. Now stretch that leg to the sky and hold it. Walk up towards your ankle here, grab on tight. Now bend your elbows to pull the leg towards you as you pull your nose towards your knee, rounding in your spine. And then we keep it moving, we keep it dynamic. Tip back foot to the ceiling. Stay rounded to deepen the stretch. And then come forward on top of your sit bones and lift the spine tall, pulling the leg up closer, the body closer to the leg. Round nose to the knee, tip back. Come forward here onto those sit bones, lift up tall. 2 more times, round nose to the knee, pull that leg closer to that nose. Use your arms here to deepen the stretch. Come all the way up, lift the spine tall. 1 more time, round. Pull that leg in, tip back. And then come all the way up and lift through your spine, and we hold, shoulders plugged down. 3, get taller, find a shake in the top of that thigh. You should have an earthquake going on. And then go ahead and send that leg. You can bend it and send it down to the mat. Oh my gosh, that feels so good. So next, we're gonna work on these hips a little bit more. So I want you to pull your knees into the chest. And then take your hands and dive them in between your legs and wrap them around the top of your ankles. So we're kind of in this pretzel shape. This exercise here is called seal. It's a little bit like rolling like a ball with some pizzazz, but it works your hip flexion, which is really important. So I want you to tip back on your tailbone and hold it, and then push your inner thighs into your forearms, and then press your forearms out into your inner thighs, keeping your heels glued together. And I want you to make your ball smaller. Think of reaching those knees in towards your shoulders. Now, why are we doing this? So your hip flexion is like everything. If you can do this position, you'll be able to tie your own shoes forever. Isn't that amazing? So say no to Velcro shoes in your 80s, guys, all right? So now round your spine and hold. And then I want you to open and close your hips 3 times. So it'll look like your feet are clapping together. 3, 2, 1. Now stay small, keep into the shape, pull into your abs, pull the knees in closer as you rock back, and then come up, find your balance. Let's clap those feet together, opening 3, 2, 1. Pull in, deepen that flexion in the hips as you come up, and 3, 2, 1, rock back, and then rock up. Now let's make it fun. We clap 3, 2, 1, rock back and clap. 3, 2, 1, rock up and clap. 3, 2, 1, rock back. 3, 2, 1, rock up. 3, 2, 1, rock back. 3, 2, 1, rock up. 3, 2, 1, rock back. 3, 2, 1, and up. 2, 1, and back. 3, 2, 1, and hold the top. And now you might have noticed that your back was getting a little massage and maybe a little stretch as well in that position. It's all good. All right, so now I want you to flip over onto your stomach, and we are going to engage those back muscles before we stretch them. So from here, keep your legs squeezed tight, your hands underneath your armpits, and now press into your hands to lift your chest off the mat. And I want you to keep squeezing your legs and hold for 3, pulling your shoulders down, lifting your chest forward and up. 1, and then slowly lower down with control, sending that heart center forward to let your nose hover about an inch off the mat. Then go ahead and press into those hands again to lift off and hold it. Now here's the fun. Lift your hands off, keep your chest lifted, hold it. 3, squeeze your shoulder blades. 2, and 1, and then lower. Press off with the hands to lift the chest, pull the low belly in, lift the arms up, squeeze the shoulder blades. 3, 2, 1, and lower it down. We're engaging that whole back body here. Press into the arms, pull the low belly in, lift the hands up, hold it. 3, 2, 1, and lower. How does that help your flexibility? Well, we want to work on extending that upper back as we just did. Go ahead and hang out in this child's pose for a little while just to round out the spine. If your upper back is open, it'll give you more freedom here to sit tall and feel really good with a wide open chest. So all good. Okay, so now go ahead and make your way to sit. Let's sit crisscross applesauce, kind of comfortably. So find a nice comfortable seat. And now this is for the shoulders. So I want you to stack your palms one on top of the other behind your back. And I'm actually gonna spin around so you can see. And then you'll walk your hands all the way up the back as far as you can. Now, I want you to lift your chest. So we wanna work on reaching the chest to the ceiling. Pulling those elbows backwards to open the chest. And now we'll do the opposite, drawing the chin down, rounding just ever so slightly, pushing back into the hands, and then reaching those elbows inward to work that internal rotation. This should feel pretty nice on the shoulders. Let's open up again. Reaching the chest to the ceiling, and then rounding just a teeny bit, not too much. We don't want to slump all the way over. Just keep your abs pulling in tight and take a nice rounded shape. This is a little variation, a seated variation of what we call double leg kick on the mat. And then round, pulling those elbows in. Good, now let's add on. So you'll reach the chest open, grab those hands together, stretch them out to open the chest. You might get a nice shoulder pop like I did just now, looking up at the ceiling, and then walk those hands back up. Let's change which hand's on top to round and drop the elbows in. And then look up at the ceiling, grab the hands together, open that chest, work that stretch in the shoulders and the front of the chest. And then round forward, scooping the low belly in. 2 more times, reach it back and stretch. Keep those stretches moving, try to go all the way to the end, and then come right back in, filling up that time. 1 more, reach back, open the chest, and then draw the chin down as you pull those elbows in. Ooh. So good. All right, so now we come up to our knees to kneel tall, working that hip extension here, keeping everything really tight in the butt and in the low abdominals. So what I want you to do now is take your right leg and send it out to the side. And And then just make sure it's in line so it's not forward or behind you. Then you're gonna take your left arm, place it down onto the mat here. And the other arm is just gonna go up and over. This is a little side kick variation here. So from here we feel a nice little opening and a stretch in these, this side body here and into the ribs. And then I want you to reverse that. And then bring yourself up. Use that powerhouse and those side waist muscles to reach all the way up and over in a counter stretch. And now, without putting your other hand on the floor, just reach it under as you stretch over, going as far as you can. And then use your powerhouse and your obliques to bring yourself all the way up to reach. And we go up and stretch over. And reverse to the other side. And this will start to feel like work after a few. And reverse and a reach. 2 more times up to stretch over. And reverse and reach. 1 more time up, stretch over. And reverse and reach. Go ahead and come to center, arms to a T, 2 knees on, left leg out. Take a stretch to the one side, lifting those ribs to the ceiling, keeping your hips forward, so no bending down at the hips, keep it up there. And then make your way up and stretch over. And then we'll start to flow through that movement, reaching over. And then using your side body to lift up and reach over to the other side. Think of lengthening to lift and over. And up to stretch to the other direction. 2 more times. And bringing it up. 1 more time. And up to stretch over. Good, now go ahead and take your hands to a T, 2 knees on. Now I want you to sit on your left hip and stack your ankles, your knees, your hips right on top of the other. Make sure that you can comfortably sit on that left hip and grab onto your bottom ankle. So now that we worked our side body muscles, let's stretch them out really deeply. So I want you to reach your arm to the ceiling and then pull with that bottom arm to take your spine up and over. This is called Mermaid. It can be Merman too, or Merperson, depending on your preference. And then all the way up, sitting tall. Let's do it 2 more times. Up and stretch over. Lengthen and reach. And back. 1 more. Up and stretch over. Ooh, that feels good. And then back, good. And then we'll do the other side. And once you're done with this stretch, you're gonna feel so tall and long through your back. We'll reach that other arm to the ceiling. Try to touch your bicep and up. 1 more time, lift and reach. And up. All right, let's get a leg stretch slash core slash back stretch combo in called saw. So I want you to reach your legs wide, a little bit wider than your mat here. And take the arms out to the T, sitting tall. Now I want you to twist over to one side. Let's call this the left side. And then just keep twisting until you feel your back and your abs, oh my, really engaged and working hard. And then let's come into the center. Go to the left. Twist, engage, twist deeper. Keep reaching one arm back, one arm forward. And then back to center. Then let's go to the right side. Big, deep twist. From here, let's add some flexion. So I want you to dive over, keeping your hips even steady. Reach for your opposite pinky toe. You may feel a stretch in the back of that left leg as you reach forward, and continue to lift this arm up, working that shoulder mobility too. Pinky finger to the sky. And then come all the way up. And then untwist. Let's go to the right side, big twist. Dive over, reaching for that opposite pinky toe. Moving carefully into that end range of motion, stretching deeply, reaching the arm up and back. As you stretch forward, you're reaching 2 directions. And bring it all the way up to untwist. Now we take a big juicy stretch, big twist, dive over, hold. Now grab on to your foot or the ankle, whatever feels best. In this bottom arm, you're gonna place it onto the floor behind your hip, behind your left hip, and push yourself with that arm as you pull with the front arm in this twist. Ooh. I feel this opening the right side of my back. If you don't, think of pulling your right hip backward a little bit to get more space in between the hip and this front reaching right arm. And then go ahead and let go of that stretch, coming back into your saw position. Roll up through your spine. See how much further you got? And then go ahead and untwist it. Then let's go over to the right side. Dive over in your saw. Make sure both hips are even, so you're not letting your left hip come off the mat or go forward. You want to keep pulling it back, keeping it heavy. And now grab on to that left foot, or I'm sorry, to your right foot with your left hand. Now your right hand, the back arm, places down onto the mat right next to that hip. Press into that back hand to pull yourself forward with the front hand. Keep pulling the left hip backward to open up that left side, low and mid back. Keep your low belly pulling in, making sure that you're supporting yourself in this stretch. And now go ahead and stay there. Just lift your arms up into your soft position. Ooh, roll all the way up. And then untwist it. One more thing for the day. I'm gonna have you lie down on your stomach. Actually, let's go to all fours. We'll do something fun first. Round through your spine, tuck your toes under. Now, from here, press down into your toes, hover your knees off, and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, knees down. All right, now onto your stomach. From here, I want you to kick your right heel into your seat. Grab on. Kick your left heel into your seat. Grab on. Walk your inner thighs together. Let your nose hover an inch off the mat. And then squeeze your butt, push your hip bones down to the mat and hold it, stretching those quads. I feel like everybody's quads and hip flexors can always use an extra stretch just to counteract all of the sitting we do all day long. All right, and now I like to flex my feet here so I can kick my ankles into my hands, lift my chest off the mat, squeeze my shoulder blades to open my chest, and stretch out that whole front body. And then lower down. Adjust if you need to. We're gonna do 2 more. If it's okay for you to just stay here without lifting, just stay here. If you wanna come with me, flex your feet, kick into your hands. Lift your thighs, lift your chest, squeeze your shoulder blades. And then lower all the way down. From here, let go of those legs. You can shake your hips out. Press yourself back into one more child's pose. A little bit widen the knees here, dropping your nose down to the mat and stretching your arms long to round out the spine. Take one big deep breath here. And then slowly make your way up to seated. And there you have it, Pilates for better flexibility. I hope you're feeling a little bit more stretched out and more mobile than you were when you started today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and got a good workout. If you have any questions or comments about how to get more flexible using Pilates, feel free to drop them below in the comment section, or you can always shoot me a DM on Instagram at Terriell Samuels. All the links to reach me are down below in the description box. Thank you so much for watching again. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something about your body, or if you got a good workout, make sure you hit like. Please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you on the mat next time.